Hi, it's Emma Monroe and you're watching Meet the Franchisor, the place to go to get all your questions answered from a franchise business you may one day own. Today we have the pleasure of Len Fergus joining us from Finn Franchise Brokers in Australia. So without further ado, let's meet the franchisor. Welcome, Len, to your Meet the Franchisor interview.
Welcome. Thank you, Emma. Thanks for inviting me.
Excellent, excellent. So let's get stuck straight into it, Len, and let you introduce yourself and your brand and tell us who is Finn Franchise Brokers and what do you represent?
Well, Finn Franchise Brokers, we represent, we're a franchise group ourselves. We actually have multiple offices around Australia, about 30 now, and what we do is sell franchise businesses for our clients. Our clients can be franchisors or they can be franchisees looking to move on from their franchise, and so that's our role. Our role is to facilitate them being able to move on comfortably and easily.
Excellent. So you're a franchisor whose franchisees sell franchisees. That's an interesting model.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Excellent, excellent. That's beautiful. Now, you've been doing this for a while now. How long has your franchise been established for, Len?
Well, we sort of established the business in 2004, I suppose you would say it, but and sort of didn't really start to franchise the business until 2009. So most of our territories are now sold. We've got quite large territories. We only have a couple left, Tasmania and one or two in Sydney, I believe. So once we've sold those, they're all gone, and our franchise group, and from a franchise recruitment point of view, will be complete.
Fantastic. Very good. So exciting times for you then, Len.
Yeah, it is exciting. I suppose once we've actually completed our development, then it's just a case of making sure all our franchisees are successful. So we'll just focus on them and their profitability at that point.
Excellent. So what do you value in a franchisee, Len?
Probably first and foremost is a great attitude. Like the funny thing that I notice is most things or skills can be taught, but if you haven't got a great attitude, there's nothing I can do for you, so to speak. So from our perspective, they've got to have a real strong giving and helping attitude. They want to help people, and in general, by doing that, they'll help themselves. So for me, it's by far the most important aspect of a franchisee is just making sure they're a great person and got a great attitude, and the rest we can help them with. And like, it's great if they've got great computer skills and all that kind of stuff. That's all bonuses. And you know, obviously, most people do have great computer skills these days, but things along the line of you know, sales skills, all that kind of stuff, we can help them with and train them with, as long as they come with the right attitude.
Absolutely. You've got to be willing to learn, I'm sure, because there's lots to learn in your business. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very steep learning curve. So a lot of people sort of don't realise how steep it can be. So
yes. Yes. Well, talking on that, if you don't mind, if we go on offshoot, what is the I suppose the time that it takes to someone to get really embedded into their business with a Finn franchise broking business?
That's a really good question. I think it can take, depending on the person and their ability to learn, it can take them anywhere from 6 months to 12 months. So you know, on average, most people will end up in between that time frame. Any longer than that, they're probably taking a bit too long to grasp it, and any shorter than that, and you know, they're far better than me. So that's the main thing. So from our perspective, yeah, 6 to 12 months is about how long it takes to really get your head around it.
Excellent. And as a franchisor, what do you bring to the table then?
It's all the systems based around that. It's all the systems based around recruiting a franchisee. We have very elaborate systems that make it easy. It's like following a checklist to do the sale. And when we worked out how many steps there are to complete a sale correctly, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of steps. So what we've done is broken those down, built a software program that manages it for you and allows the franchisee to be efficient. And I think that's the key to running a business as a business broker, or a franchise broker in this case, is efficiency. And we hear a lot about a lot of our clients from our survey saying that, you know, they just get poor service, or they've had poor service from brokers before. And from our perspective, it's usually because the efficiencies in time saving to do your job correctly aren't strong enough. So we spent a lot of time making sure the efficiencies for our brokers are world-class standards, more or less. So that's what we built. We called the Finn selling system. and we built that fin selling system to make sure that they did have those world-class systems to be able to recruit more franchisees, have better time efficiency, and actually still have a good lifestyle. Like, it's really important that they don't work 24/7. They've got to work business hours, still have their weekends for their families, so they can enjoy their business rather than their business sort of dominating their life.
So you've been doing this for 5 years now, Len. From the feedback from the franchisees, what is the most important, enjoyable part of owning a fin franchise broker?
I think it's the one of our franchisees that came from a retail background said to me, the great thing about a fin franchise broker's franchise is there's no rent, there's no staff, and there's no stock. Now, that's sort of not 100% true, because you do build your staff levels and you sort of do have an office facility that you'll end up in. But I suppose from the point of view of retail, it doesn't come anywhere near those kind of things. And in our business, you're not dominated by you have to be at a shop to open it up to actually run your business. You can run it from a small office, Monday to Friday, more or less, and generally business hours. Like, you might have to stretch that a little bit from time to time, but generally it's business hours, and it's a business-to-business business. That sounded funny, didn't it? Business. But I think overall, that's the thing that they enjoy most. It's a business that they can still have some sort of lifestyle out of.
So can you break that down a little bit more, Len, and tell us, what does an average franchisee's day look like?
Pretty much what they'll do is, we have a structure that they meet buyers, so they'll have 13 meetings a week. So they're structured to have 13 meetings a week with people looking to buy a franchise, and their goal is to fill those slots. So they usually get up in the morning or get into their office in the morning, and that may be at they may get in at 8 o'clock, do their emails, respond to inquiry, and then they start their meeting structure for the day. So generally they'll do 3 meetings a day. That's how they manage their day, and in between those days they'll be responding to inquiries and emails and phone calls. So pretty much they can be fairly office bound with this kind of business. So because you usually try to get people to come to you, you just don't have the time to travel around to meet people in sort of all different locations.
Yes. And let's flip that on the head now, Len, and now that you explain what the day looks like, can we have a look at the financials a little bit and have a look at what is the investment bracket that you would need to be prepared to invest to get a fin franchise broker's franchise?
Yeah, I think we would say that you would need to have around about $150,000 to $200,000 available. So to pay your franchise fee, which is $80,000 to join the group, and that includes all their training and all their development to become a franchise broker. And then from there, they need to have enough working capital to get them through that first 12 months. The first 12 months is very, very hard. It's a business that you sort of build a reputation in. So what we say to a lot of our franchisees is the franchisor, as in fin franchise brokers, will give you the credibility. So the credibility is all there for you. Then you need to build your posture. You need to build your reputation. And we have a lot of tools that allow them to do that. So for their first 12 months, they'll be spending a lot of time doing that, building their profile, building their listing base and their clients, and they'll need a bit of working capital to do that. So minimum probably 150, and probably the best would be 200,000. That allows them to do a lot more marketing and support themselves while their business is being developed.
And that's always an important consideration to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you can't go in undercapitalised, because all you end up doing is damaging your business. So one of the most important things for us is making sure that our franchisees that join us really understand that aspect of capitalisation. They need to make sure that they've got those funds available, because I suppose from our perspective, we give them a 12-month marketing planner that they lay all their marketing out. We have all support staff available to complete all their marketing for them, and they just need to make sure they invest the time and the money to complete that marketing platform. And if they do that, their chances of success are much higher.
Absolutely. And so do you have financing options, or someone that you can refer them to for financing options there, Len?
Yeah, we do. I think we have people that we can refer them to for finance options. We do offer some financing, but in general it depends on the person. Most of the people we find that join us, we're probably lucky, Emma. We have a really high caliber of franchisee. All our franchisees that have come to us have been previous business owners, previous high-level managers of franchisors that have sort of liked what we've done and decided to join us. So from our perspective, financing hasn't been a great drama because of most people that have joined us have sort of been in their second phase of business, if you would call it that.
Yes.
So from their perspective, finance hasn't been a huge issue because of the caliber of franchisee that we've had join us.
Excellent, excellent. And that's good to know that they're surrounded by such a high caliber of peers as well.
Well, that's probably one of the great benefits that we have. One of the things we do in our franchise is every quarter we get together face-to-face for a sales meeting. So you fly in from around the country, and all our offices are in Perth and Darwin and Melbourne and Sydney, so they all fly into one central location. We spread that around a bit so people don't sort of end up flying from Perth all the time, which is a pretty long trip. I've done that trip a couple of times, and it's actually can be quite daunting. But so what we end up with is a face-to-face meeting, and what we sort of try to develop in our franchise is teamwork. So they end up being a part of a team, because we don't have a large franchise. We'll only ever have, with Fin Franchise Brokers and Fin Business Sales completely built, we'll only ever have about 60 franchisees within our group. So
Yes.
It's not unfeasible for us to be able to have these meetings and for them to become teammates and colleagues of each other, working and helping each other, which is our vision for the business, and which is coming true. So
Excellent, excellent. It's always it feels amazing when your vision actually comes true, doesn't it? And it sounds like you're in that stage now.
yeah, and I think a lot of we've had a few of our competitors say, "Geez, you guys have come from nowhere," and it feels like. And I'm sure to them it sort of feels like that, but for us it feels like it's been a long slog. But we'll get there. And I think we're still I look at our business and think we're still 50% done. Like, we've still got a lot of stuff to do, and we're constantly, as a franchisor, Steve and I, who are the co-founders of it, constantly challenge ourselves to make sure that we have got the best systems and we have got the best procedures, and and does it all focus on what we actually want for the business. So we really work hard on that side of it. I suppose coming from franchisee backgrounds ourselves, we sort of saw the other side of the fence and jumped over it to this side of the fence. And so we know what we want as a franchisee. So we try to deliver that to our franchisees as well. So, and still providing the leadership that they need to achieve their goals as well.
Absolutely. There's nothing like overnight success, is there, Len?
Yes, overnight success. You're right, Emma. And I think it's overnight. It's a very, very long night. So
Yes, indeed, indeed. So let's have a look at some of the challenges that you're facing in the business and what strategies you're using to overcome them, Len.
Well, sort of some of our biggest challenges is for people to get their businesses up and running more quickly. So when they join us, there's no sort of easy way to get a lot of clients on board, and you have to go out and do the work. So what we've actually done for our franchisees from the early days when they sort of did a lot of the work themselves to now is we end up having a lot of marketing tools and strategies and staff in place for the group. So, for example, we've got a whole marketing platform that we were talking about before, and within that marketing platform, we've got people that will do all their email marketing, all their direct mail marketing, telemarketers that can do it all for them. So, where we had that challenge of making sure they got good quality listings as quickly as possible, we put in place these practices to help them achieve those things as quickly as they can. So that's sort of one of the challenges. The other challenge is admin and all that kind of stuff. So we've actually completed a lot of tools and systems that actually make the admin process as simple as possible as well. So we're checklist crazy. We have a lot of checklists in there that sort of just make sure people don't miss things. And once they're embraced by the franchisee, which can be a challenge sometimes, they become very, very simple for the franchisee to do, but more importantly, it's for their future staff members to do. So in the end, we want the franchisees meeting people, because when you're meeting people, you're listing and selling businesses. You're not listing and selling businesses when you're filling out paperwork. So we try to make that whole process as simple as possible too.
And that's probably a good thing. I mean, if you're in the business of selling franchises, which your franchisees are, typically salespeople aren't great with admin and paperwork. So having those support systems sounds like that's the way to overcome the challenge.
Yeah, it's something that we've worked on for a long time. It's because we sort of had that challenge. I remember back to when we first started, and someone would say to me, "Oh, can you do this work?" And I'd say, "Yeah, sure." Whereas I'd run back to the office the next day and have it delivered. But we've had that process now where it's all checklist based, it's all simple, it's just fill in the blanks, and it probably took us 5 years to get to that point where the paperwork side of it is really, really simple and mostly online. Like, if you saw my office, it's basically paperless, and we've sort of worked hard to make our business that way.
Excellent, excellent. Got to love a paperless office and lots of systems to support the franchisees, especially in their first 6 to 12 months. So that sounds fantastic. Now, if anyone is watching this, Len, and is a prospective franchisee and wants to find out more, how do you see that process going and the relationship building?
I think what we try to do is we spend a bit of time getting to know our franchisees. So what we do is we would have a chat to them initially. So the best thing to do is probably go to our website, JoinFin, and they can then get online and have a look at the territories that are available and some of the things that we offer. And then we would have a series of get to know you meetings. And then if it all works out from that, we'd invite them in to do what's called a discovery day. And in the discovery day, we'd show them our business and show them all the tools and systems that we use. If that doesn't overwhelm them and they feel like that can work for them, then from there we get a bit more serious and start showing them all the legal aspects of the business, which can be quite daunting for people as well. But yeah, we have a series of interviews. Steve would meet them, I would meet them. We let them meet our franchisees and have a chat to them guys as well.
Yes.
And we don't try to hide anything. The point is it's hard work. So even though we say there's some lifestyle benefits to this business, it's really hard work. So mentally that is, not physically, but they have to have that. They have to know and understand that's what's involved in that, and make that decision freely that they're prepared to do that hard work in that first 12 to sort of 18 months, I suppose.
Absolutely. There's that a saying just came from mind from Tony Robbins, is that business is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. And from what you're saying, you would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. And I used to say to a lot of our franchisees, this business is great. It can carry you on its shoulders 1 minute and then throw you on the ground and kick you in the belly the next. And that's because that's the mental side of it. So, and if they're prepared for that, then they can cope with it. If they're not, it would be hard for them.
Absolutely. Okay, excellent. So thank you so much, Len, for giving us an insight into Fin Franchise Brokers. As Len mentioned, you can go to joinfin.com.au. Is that right, Len?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Len, so much for joining us today. We really appreciate learning about your system.
No worries. Thank you, Emma. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Now that you've met Len and met the franchisor, if you do have any questions, go to joinfin.com.au and you can find out more details there. If you like this interview, and I certainly enjoyed speaking to Len today, please like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with your friends. Until next time, let's meet the franchisor.